wheels on that ledge there.
Okay.
Hey, that was an immunity from prosecution. So that was a defense filed motion, not a motion for like immunity from in exchange for testifying. It's now that I have the whole thing and paying attention to it, since my brain is processing now that I have a second to think about it. This is in the instant case. So it's not an immunity in exchange for testimony. But still, I'll drop the folder I'll drop the link in your folder in a second, Hal, and I'll drop a link in the chat.
My name is Thomas Michael Dixon.
And you can move the microphone towards you if it is helpful.
Thomas Dixon.
And could you spell your name, please, sir?
Thomas, Thomas, Dixon, Dixon.
Okay. Mr. Dixon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tell the court, were you in the Atlanta area in 1998?
Yes.
All right. At that point, how long had you been living in the Atlanta area?
I've been in the Atlanta area since '93. This is when I first arrived here in Georgia.
All right. Now, during that period...
Forgive me. I definitely am going to need you to pull that microphone towards you. Okay. Make sure my court reporter and I can hear you clearly. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Fawcett.
All right. During that period, were you employed?
Yes.
And what were you doing for a living?
Waffle House.
And what did you do while you were working at Waffle House?
I cooked.
All right. And that would have been in that period of 1998?
Yes.
Specifically, what locations, Waffle House locations, did you work at?
Many locations. When I first got there in '93, I started out on Buford Highway in Doraville. And then I transferred from there. I can't say the exact year, '97. It was after the Olympics.
Okay.
And I transferred over to Peachtree Corners.
And do you remember what time of year you would have been at Peachtree Corners?
Yeah, it was in 1998.
Okay, would that have been at the beginning, the middle, or the end of 1998?
About the middle.
All right. You familiar with the name Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes, sir.
How do you know that name?
She was my waitress.
All right. And when you say waitress, describe what your role at Waffle House and what her role would have been.
I was like the shift supervisor, cook, management. At that time, earlier in my career, I was just mostly a cook and just a shift supervisor.
Okay. And what types of, when you say you were a supervisor, what types of responsibilities would a supervisor have in relationship to, say, a waitress, as Melissa Wolfenbarger would have been employed in?
It's a team effort. When we work together, we help each other out, support each other on the floor, take care of customers.
Do you recall what locations, Waffle House locations, you would have worked at with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
And what locations were those?
I started working with her in Doraville on a Buford Highway location, and then I seen her again over when I transferred to. I can't think of the unit number. It's Peachtree Corners, though. The one I transferred to Peachtree Corners. She was over there.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
She was my friend. She was one of my really close friends. The girls that I work with it's kind of like a family thing at Waffle House. We establish a close relationship when we work with each other.
Did you talk about your families, your children with Melissa Wolfenbarger? Did you discuss that?
No.
Did Melissa Wolfenbarger discuss her personal circumstances with you?
She usually did it to another waitress. She usually talked to another waitress that was one of our friends. Her name was Elizabeth. And her name was Elizabeth. Uh-huh. And Elizabeth would come back and tell me, back at that time I was...
Sustained.
Well, I didn't get that he was going to repeat an out-of-court statement. Now, Mr. Dixon, we want to try to avoid repeating anything that someone else said out of court.
Okay.
But I do want to keep you on that period at Waffle House in 98. When you started working with Melissa at I believe you said it was a Doraville location?
Yes.
Around what time of year would that have been?
About the middle of the year, I'd say.
And then do you recall around what time of year you would have started working with Melissa at the Peachtree Corners location?
Later that year.
And at any point, can you tell the jury if the nature of your relationship with Melissa Wolfenbarger changed at any point?
We just became closer.
All right. At any point, did you become intimate with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Can you tell us around when in the relationship during the year did that occur?
In the year, probably around toward the later fall.
Okay. And when you say intimate, did Melissa ever spend any time at any location that you may have been staying at during that period?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, she, when I first met her, it was her birthday, and I took her out for her birthday dinner across the street from where we worked at in Doraville to a Chinese restaurant. And we had too much to drink, and we went and got a hotel room behind the Waffle House that night. And I was respectful. None of us, we didn't have any intercourse or no sexual relations that night. She went home the next morning because she said she had to get back to her kids. And we continued to work. You know, she came in, I went home, she went home, and we came back to work at 2:30 in the afternoon. We worked the afternoon shift.
All right. At any point, did you come to learn that Melissa was married?
Yes.
How did you learn that?
I believe it was just her sharing with Elizabeth and talking to me.
Okay. Did she actually discuss, did she actually tell you that she was married?
No.
Melissa never told you that she was married?
Not that she was married, but I knew she had a boyfriend.
Did you ever meet that person that you describe as being Melissa's boyfriend?
One time.
All right. Do you recall that instance when you met him?
Yes.
What do you recall about that date?
It was in the evening, and we was both about ready to get off work, and Chris showed up at the job, and he came inside the restaurant, and I was on the grill cooking, and Melissa was over there sitting down talking to him at the booth, and then she got up and ran to the back room, was crying, and I went to the back room and asked her what's wrong, and she was just, I couldn't really understand what she was, because she was crying, hysterical. And she said something about it was him, you know, he's messing with her. So he was on his way out, and I followed him out, and I told him, I said, leave her alone until 9 o'clock. I said, after 9 o'clock, then you can have her, but until then, she's mine.
Okay. How close were you to the person you described as being Melissa's boyfriend? How close were you to him at the time you said that?
We was in front of each other, maybe a couple feet apart.
They're both outside?
Yes.
And was there any response at that time?
No.
What happened after that?
Just turned around and went and got in his car, and I went back inside, and we went back to work.
At any point, did you see that individual leave the restaurant?
Who? Chris?
Yes.
He was leaving when I followed him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see him leave in the vehicle?
Yeah, with her that night when they left.
How would you describe the manner in which he drove off?
Very irate.
What do you mean by that?
Tires were squealing and peeling up and down the road.
Did it appear to you at the time that he was upset?
Yeah.
Thank you, John. $20 super chat. This becomes a Maury Povich kind of testimony where they suddenly bring someone out from the back room. I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happens in this trial.
At that point, had you and Melissa become intimate?
Yes.
All right. And when did that occur?
I don't know exactly when. It was, she stayed with me for about 4 or 5 days during that week because let's see. I had came to work one day, and we always go back and smoke cigarettes, and we would be drinking beer or something while we're at work, and we would talk, and she would tell me, you know, about an abusive relationship she was in.
Okay. If I can get you to speak up so I can make sure I'm hearing everything that you're saying, could you repeat that?
Yes, she would talk to me about her abusive relationship with Chris.
Okay. How, and you say abusive, but when you describe it as abusive, what exactly did she say to give you the impression she was describing abuse?
I mean, she wouldn't really exactly describe the details, but I could see it. It was visible on her body.
And what do you mean by that?
The marks, the scratches, the bruises.
Okay. You saw signs of what appeared to be abuse.
Yeah.
And where on her body would you see that?
On her arms. I seen one on her cheekbone.
And besides the individual that you're referring to, did you know any of Melissa's family, sister? Did you know any family members?
No. Mm-mm.
And when you and Melissa had become intimate, was there any point when you had unprotected sex with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Supposed to be the motive?
And would that have been towards that end period you've been testifying to in 1998?
Yes.
And how soon after, say, you became intimate, the last point when you were intimate with Melissa Wolfenbarger was the last time you actually saw her?
Maybe a day or two later.
Okay.
Is when we went to work, and that's when Chris came up there to the job, and she said she had to go home. She mentioned something about her kids.
Okay.
I think this is the torso theory.
Did you have the knowledge that she had children?
I always she talked about her kids. Yeah.
And then how would she, when she would talk about her children, how would she speak about them?
Very briefly. I mean, it wasn't really a topic. You know, she said she had kids and she missed them. She said that a few times while we was together.
Do you remember describing a type of vehicle that you saw defendant drive off in?
Yeah, it was like a yellow slug bug back in the 90s. You know, like a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen,
yeah.
Okay. Like a Volkswagen Beetle, is that what you just?
Yes.
One moment, Judge.
Okay.
What are we doing? Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to get at like motive where Chris finds out Melissa's pregnant by another man and gets mad, kills her, and then the torso is never found. Like, I'm trying to see what they're getting at, but I don't know. The chat is loving the slug bug.
Mr. Dixon, do you recall giving a statement to law enforcement, the detectives in this case?
Yeah, back in 2003.
Okay, back in 2003.
Yeah.
All right. Do you recall a time frame that you were able to give the detectives as to the last date, the last month that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I believe I told them the same thing that I told you, yeah.
You recall what was that date that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger, the actual month itself?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
How did you
if
tell
you were
them?
to see a copy of some of your report.
What?
3.
Okay, back in
Bro.
2003.
Yeah.
All right. Do you recall a time frame that you were able to give the detectives as to the last date, the last month that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I believe I told them the same thing that I told you, yeah.
You recall what was that date that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger, the actual month itself?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. If you were to see a copy of some of your report, would that assist in refreshing your recollection?
Most likely would.
We'll see. Yeah, where's the report? How do you tell the prosecution the same date and month that you told someone in 2003, but right now you don't remember the month?
Starting right here where it's starting right there.
Just read it to yourself. I'll read it in the microphone.
In December.
No, sorry. He's telling you to just read it to yourself because he wants to know if reading that refreshes your memory about the question he's just asked you. So if you could just read it to yourself and then he'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. After having looked at that, do you recall the month that you told law enforcement you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger in 98?
Yes.
And what month was that?
December.
Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
All right, cross-examination. Are we hitting the mic again?
Mr. Dixon, you and I have never had the opportunity of speaking together before.
Tell him.
Okay.
Mr. Dixon, if you would, that was, I think you were nodding your head. Did you mean yes?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay. If you'll just try and give an out loud yes or no.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
So you just mentioned that the first time you kind of began to get intimate with Melissa was on her birthday. Is that correct?
Well, no, nothing happened that night.
Okay.
No.
But
I liked her. We liked each other. You know, we was growing closer.
didn't you share a room that night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, nothing ever happened though.
And at the time you lived with a woman named Deborah, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, I was living with Deborah. Yeah.
And she had an ex-husband that she lived with?
John.
And you rented a room from them?
Yes.
And you were also having an affair with Deborah also, is that correct?
Yes.
And when Deborah found out you were having an affair with Melissa, that kind of trouble happened at Waffle House, right?
Yeah.
And did the manager require one of y'all to leave or to come up with some settlement of that?
No.
Okay. And you said Melissa stayed with you a few times?
Just she stayed with me one time, and I wasn't living with Deborah at that time. I was over in Liberty Heights after I moved out of Deborah's house.
Okay. You got a new place of your own?
Yes.
Were you renting a room there too, or did you have your own place?
Yeah.
Okay. But you had a little more freedom.
Yes.
This incident where you say that you met her boyfriend and he picked her up in the car. Apparently he did something to make her cry in the store, right?
Yes.
And then he goes out to the car, and then later that night she gets in the car and leaves with him. And you just, is that correct?
No, he went out. As he was going to the car, that's when I came out behind him.
But later that night she got in that car
When she was off. Yes.
when she got off after 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And you described that car as a yellow Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And are you aware that Christopher never owned a yellow Volkswagen?
No.
And you said he peeled out down the road? Mm-hmm. The phrase you used, I think, was he was squalling up and down the road?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to squall out in a Volkswagen Beetle?
No.
Oh my God, not catching strays.
Do you remember telling deputies or telling an investigator that you had sex with Melissa multiple times?
Maybe I might have.
Did you have sex with Melissa multiple times?
No, maybe 2,
3 times?
2, 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember asking Melissa if she could get pregnant?
No.
What? The tube tying question from earlier?
If I showed you a transcript of your interview with Detective Calhoun in 2003, would that maybe refresh your memory?
Probably, yeah.
Get him! Oh, he told Calhoun she couldn't get pregnant?
read this here.
Uh-oh. Is he turning red?
I don't remember asking her.
Don't answer any questions yet.
Okay.
You did ask her if she could get pregnant, and she told you no. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, ask the question, defense attorney.
You've testified here about Melissa talking about her children, and you said two things that weren't clear to me. On the one hand, you said she didn't really talk about her children, but then you also said, yeah, she mentioned her children a few times and said she missed them,
Yeah.
or that she needed to get back to them.
Yeah, we didn't really get in like detail about her kids, you know, because we was always just having fun, just
Times?
drinking and socializing.
Yeah.
We didn't go in and get into no details.
But did she talk about her children to you?
I've heard her say some stuff about her kids, like she missed them and stuff like that.
Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun that she never talked about her children?
No.
If I showed you a transcript of that interview, may it refresh your memory?
Maybe.
We'll take a chance.
Okay.
Guys, he actually kind of looks like the I'm in danger Ralphie.
Hold on, I'm sorry. That's his question. My apologies. That.
Oh, I don't know, Brittany.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. That up there?
What's what?
You ever mentioned any parents?
Hey, forgive me, but don't read it out loud, please. Thank you.
Wait, Dilbert?
To be clear, that was his question to you.
Oh,
So when Detective Calhoun asked you if she ever talked about her family or her parents or anybody to you, you told him that she didn't talk about her mom, dad, brothers, sisters, nothing. She never even talked about her kids.
she told me she had kids. I mean,
Okay.
if you want to consider that talking about them, I don't know.
You say that Melissa was close to you and that she disclosed these details, or you didn't say that she disclosed these details. Do you remember talking to these people, Mr. Fawcett and a couple of investigators, maybe a few weeks ago? Do you remember that?
Where at my residence?
In Rome, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So they came out and interviewed you freshly regarding the details of what happened back then.
Yes.
And do you remember them telling you something about her telling you about instances of abuse?
We didn't go over what was discussed in the 2003 interview.
Apologize, sir, but if you could lean forward, you are really quiet.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My
Thank you.
question is, do you remember telling them at that time about an instance that Melissa told you about abuse?
I mean, she mentioned stuff about being, abused.
That's not the
So
question.
you just testified here this morning that she did not tell you about instances of abuse, but that you only saw marks on her body.
I seen marks on her body, and I heard from her,
Got him.
that he was abusive. I mean, but
You
we
literally just testified a while ago
okay.
that she did not tell you about instances of abuse. Isn't that correct?
Okay.
And when you talk to these,
Okay.
I keep pointing to them, but it was really only Mr. Fawcett that was with the group. And Detective Shepard was with that group, and Detective Kennedy, I believe. When you talked to that group a few weeks ago, do you remember telling them that you have been interested in Melissa's case all across the years?
Yes.
And did you a couple of times tell them that you had watched videos?
Yes.
Okay. What videos had you watched about Melissa?
Just when the cold case files.
So you've watched media presentations about her case.
Yeah.
And isn't it the case that you took some details from what you heard and told them to the investigators a few weeks ago as if they were things you remembered?
No. This is what I can remember, what I can't remember.
Is it possible that some of the things you've listened to over 20 years of videos and interest in Melissa has combined with the things that you think you remember about her?
I haven't heard anything.
Is it possible?
No, I haven't heard anything until I found out he was arrested.
So if he was arrested a year ago, you've had at least a year to watch videos?
Yeah.
Did you listen to any podcasts?
No.
Okay. You testified just a few minutes ago that when Melissa decided to leave at one point, she told you she had to go home because she missed her kids or something about her kids.
Yeah.
But again, you told Detective Calhoun back in the days, which was much closer, that she never talked about her kids.
If I did, I did.
And would you agree with me that the
I did. It's
interview
crazy.
you gave Detective Calhoun in 2003 was much closer to the events than today?
Yes.
Okay.
Crazy.
Do you remember telling the investigators a few weeks ago that it was difficult, or that Melissa never kept in touch with you because we didn't have cell phones back then?
What about it? What was your question?
Do you remember telling the detectives a few weeks ago that one reason you couldn't keep in touch with Melissa is because we didn't have cell phones back then?
I might have said that, yeah.
Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you had a cell phone?
I might have had one in prepaid one.
So you would have had a cell phone?
I might have had one around that, when, 2003?
Yes.
I don't think.
If I showed you your comments from 2003, would that
You can,
refresh you?
yeah.
I wonder when I got a cell phone. It was when Cellular One was still around.
Yeah.
So you do remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you had a cell phone?
That ain't got nothing to do with 2003.
This interview was given in 2003.
What was that that I was reading about?
Hang on, sir. I don't want you to state the substance of what you read, but you can ask him for clarification.
You're asking about what you were reading?
Yeah.
I believe you were describing an incident in which you had gotten into some altercation with some other boys.
Right.
And what year did that happen?
Yeah, that was around 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this interview was given to Detective Calhoun in 2003, correct?
Well, I don't understand. Why would he have that interview of something totally different in 2000?
You were describing many things during that interview with Detective Calhoun, right?
Okay.
It was about an hour-long interview, is that correct?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And it just happened to be one of the things you were telling him about?
When I got in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before 2003 when he came to see me, though.
Okay, so you had a cell phone already in 2000?
That was, yeah, prepaid.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Now, you've testified here today that you saw marks on Melissa's body, her cheekbone, I think you said scratches on her arms and legs.
Bruises, yeah.
Bruises. And isn't it true that when you were interviewed in 2003, you never mentioned abuse, you never mentioned bruises, you never mentioned scratches, you never mentioned a single altercation to Detective Calhoun?
That might have been possible.
Isn't that correct?
Oh, I don't know if it's correct. It might be possible.
Have you ever had a chance to review the interview you gave Detective Calhoun in
No.
2003?
No.
The DA's office didn't tell you? Do you remember an interview you gave in 2003?
I remember the interview, yeah.
In preparing you for testifying, did they tell you about a 2003 interview?
No.
Okay. And they didn't give you a transcript of it? And if I told you that in 34 pages of that transcript, there's not a single mention of bruising, altercations, scratches, or anything between Chris and Melissa, would you deny that?
I don't know. What do you mean, what I denied?
Would you deny that you never mentioned any of those things in that interview?
In the 2003 interview? I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Do you remember telling the investigators a few weeks ago that you and Melissa regularly worked together?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you only ever worked the same shift twice in the whole time that you knew her?
No.
If I showed you the transcript, would that maybe refresh your interview?
Yeah.
Your recollection?
Sure.
Not Boone's Farm, Rhonda. Oh no. Shout out to Phoenix tuning in from the bushes. I don't know if these are public defenders or not, but I think I was wrong about Doug because someone commented that Doug ended up saying the family for Custodes requested he represents. So for this case, I don't even want to guess if these attorneys are retained or what. He had a different attorney at first.
I don't remember this.
He looks like a thumb.
To clarify, yes, that's your statement. You don't remember then telling Calhoun that I don't know who worked with her because we didn't work the same shift. I worked with her one day. Matter of fact, it's 2 days.
No, I don't remember saying that.
Okay. Just a moment, Your Honor, please.
Sure.
We done?
Mr. Dixon, have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Yes.
Oh,
And when was the most recent time?
2010.
2010.
Mm-hmm.
Did they convict you of a new felony, or did they just violate your probation?
Probation violation,
Okay.
yeah.
And what was the reason for that probation violation?
Non-reporting.
In 2010?
No, 2010 is when I got arrested.
Okay. And what were you convicted of?
Robbery by intimidation.
And you were robbing a bank, is that correct?
Yes.
And you told the teller.
Not banks, one bank.
I thought I said a bank. I'm sorry. And how much time did you serve?
10 years.
10 years. And you got out in 2020, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Fawcett?
Mr. Dixon, when did you come to find out about Melissa Wolfenbarger's open code case?
When he came and talked to me in 2003, but then I didn't hear nothing else until 2010 when I went to prison.
Okay. Did you ever see a card or image?
Yes.
With Melissa Wolfenbarger's
Yes.
image on it?
When I went to jail in 2010, I haven't heard anything since 2003. The interview with the detective, and then I went to jail in Fulton County in 2010, and I was playing cards, and her picture was on a playing card. It was a cold case files.
Okay. Prior to that, did you have any knowledge of that there was an actual open case pending?
No, I didn't. I moved on, forgot.
Now, in addition to the abrasions that you've testified that you observed, did Melissa ever describe did she ever describe verbally with any type of detail what the defendant had done to her?
I heard one time that she was pulled by her hair up and down the sidewalk.
Okay. And who exactly are you referring to, and who was pulled by the hair?
Melissa.
And to the best of your recollection, who was it that's being described as the person who's responsible for that?
Christopher.
And is that information that you would have received from Melissa Wolfenbarger during that 1998 period?
Yeah.
That's all I have, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. McDermott?
He sounds deflated.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
Well, that was a
Excuse.
time.
Mr. Fawcett? Or may the witness be excused? Okay.
No objections, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You are excused. Ms. Hilton, state may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Christina Garrett.
Christina Garrett.